Hey all, welcome back to Triple Goddess Soapery. My name is Angela, and tonight we are making Mount Benson Breezes. This is the second time that I am recording this voiceover, so hopefully this one sticks. To get started, I am just measuring out my titanium dioxide. It is water soluble, and this is my favorite titanium dioxide to use. It melts away perfectly in the water. You don't have to worry about dispersing it. It works so well. And then once I do that, I also pre-disperse my micas in a little bit of the batch oils, which just makes them blend so much easier into the soap batter later. And also I'm not using any extra oils because I'm just taking it from the existing batch, so I don't have to worry that it's screwing around with my super fat at all. Now, this soap is named after Mount Benson, which is the mountain here in Nanaimo. I actually live in its shadow. I can look out my office window right here and see it. So if you are at all familiar with Vancouver Island or Nanaimo, you know what this soap is named after. Also, too, I just want to take this moment to thank my patrons. If you did not know, I do have a Patreon, and I post regularly on there. I post formulas at the $5 level, and I also today posted a free formula, so if you want to head over there, you can take advantage of that free formula. So just to say thank you, Darla, Erica, and Linda, thank you so much for supporting me. I really do appreciate you. Also, too, I just want to say thank you very much to those who subscribe and who watch my videos. If you like this kind of content, I encourage you to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and click that like button. Those are free ways that you can support your favorite creators on YouTube and all social media for that matter. And it really means a lot to us. It tells YouTube that you like the content and it pushes it out to people like you who might also like the content. So, anyway, that's my little plug there. So we are using dark yellow mica from Windy Point Soaps, and we are using almost ice mica from Yellow Bee, and then I do add a little bit of ultramarine blue as well, just to darken it up a little bit. And if I haven't said it already, the fragrance that I'm using today is called Sun-Dried Cotton from Windy Point Soap. There it is there. It smells absolutely amazing. If you love the smell of clothing fresh out of the dryer or fresh off the line, this is for you. It smells so good, so good. I have this in a wax melt, and I also think I'm going to do it in a car diffuser besides the soap because it smells that good, and I think people will really like it in a car diffuser. And I already know that people like it in a wax melt because that was one of my first wax melts last year that sold out. So it's really nice. I highly recommend it if you're a soap maker and you want to pick up this fragrance. You won't be disappointed. So all we're going to do here is we're going to blend our goat's milk powder and our kaolin clay into the oils. And I do it before I put in the danger water just because I can blend as much as I want and make sure that there's no lumps and bumps and whatever. And I don't have to worry about accelerating my batter. So this is why I do it this way. And I also find goat's milk powder is so easy to use compared to liquid goat's milk. And it's absolutely exactly the same benefits as using goat's milk powder as using liquid goat's milk. So no matter what you see online or what people say, the only difference is that the water content has been removed in goat's milk powder. Now, if you're interested in where I get my powder from, it is from Happy Dairies Farm, which is a goat farm in British Columbia. And they're amazing. They sell, I think that they sell it in 1 to 10 pound bags, and they also sell it in a big box, which is what I bought. But yeah, it's really nice to work with, shelf stable, and you don't have to worry about burning or scorching your milk, which is, really important. So all we're going to do is we're just going to get our soap batter emulsified and get ready to pour off our colors. Now, I've very much been in love with In the Pot swirls, and I feel like that's becoming my signature pour. and I really like it. Like, there's no complaints there. Basically, what an in the pot swirl is, you separate out your soap batter into colors, and then you pour them all back into the same pot, and then you pour from the pot into your mold, and it makes beautiful swirls. Now, if you want very light, feathery, thin swirls, you're going to want your soap batter to be on the thinner side, but not too thin, or else the colors will get muddied. And if you want really big, thick, substantial, defined swirls, which is what I prefer, then you're going to want your soap batter to be a lot thicker before you create your in the pot swirl to pour into your mold. Does that make sense? If you have any questions about anything, just, feel free to ask down below. But I think that pretty much covers it. Also, too, when you're working with titanium dioxide, it is known to accelerate your soap batter. So I like to be very careful when I'm working with it as far as how much I blend. But titanium dioxide does need to be mechanically blended into your soap. If you try to hand mix it in, you're just not going to get the same result. It might look a little gritty or grainy, and it certainly you won't get that bright white compared to if you use the exact same amount but use your emulsion blender to blend it in. So just a little piece of advice there, that's all. So all I'm going to do is blend it in, and actually having an accelerating soap batter or accelerating titanium dioxide actually works in my favor with this soap pour, because the white gets a little thicker and it just makes the pour a little chunkier to pour, which is what I want. I find too, I'm a big fan of Windy Point's micas. I have never had a problem with any of them. This particular bag of titanium dioxide came from Voyager, and it's water soluble and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful to work with. It's my favorite titanium dioxide. And I also have not had any issues with this dark yellow mica from Windy Point doing any like paranormal color morphs. If you've ever worked with yellow before, you know that sometimes yellow will morph like crazy in soap, but then within a day or two or three later, it'll come back to yellow. I made some sunflower soaps there about a month or two ago, I guess a couple months now, and I used light yellow mica by Windy Point, and it turned the brightest, darkest orange that I've ever seen. And then after about a week, the sunflowers were a nice light yellow color. But yeah, I mean, I already knew that it would do that, but it was still kind of like pretty terrifying to like see it happen. So yeah, that's just again a little more just a tip. Don't worry if you're using a yellow mica and it turns bright orange or some weird color. It will come back. So I believe I cut it out of the video, which I didn't really mean to, but basically once I get all of my colors separated and blended, then if I'm working with a fragrance oil that I don't know that well, then I will hand stir it into my colors. But if it's a fragrance oil that I know doesn't accelerate, then I'll put it in at the same time with the colors and blend with my immersion blender. This time, I think I put it in, like I said, I cut it out without realizing it, but I think I hand blended it in after I blended all of my colors, just because it had, trying to think, I think this is the first time that I've worked with this particular fragrance oil in a soap. I've used it for other things, but it was the first time I'd used it in a soap, so I just wasn't sure. And it does work. It works really well in soap. It's really well behaved. Like I said, I hand stirred it in, but I didn't notice any acceleration. There might be some very mild acceleration if you do blend it with your immersion blender, but I didn't experience anything negative. So here we go. We got all of our colors poured into our white, and we're just going to pour it into the mold. Now, next time I make this soap, I probably will let the batter get a little bit thicker before I combine them and pour them in, just to get a thicker, more substantial looking swirl. But it does turn out really nice, so there's really no complaints there. And with the in the pot swirl, you generally don't do anything else to it. Like once you pour the batter, you generally don't swirl it with a chopstick or a hanger tool or anything like that. You just leave it as it is. Now with my tops, I tend to do a very simple top because of the height of my boxes. I really can't do anything too floofy because then my soap won't fit in my boxes. So I am, along with my signature pour, I'm kind of coming up a little bit with a signature top that's kind of similar, just a little bit of flip-floppy over like this, nothing too extravagant. And a lot of my soaps, well, most of my soaps lately, I've been topping with a biodegradable plant-based eco glitter, and as well as white diamonds mica, or I have twinkle green, twinkle rose, a couple other micas too as well that I have in these little spray bottles, and the little dry spray bottles are awesome for dispersing mica on top of soap. Now, this particular glitter is called Moon Glitter. It's from the UK. You can find it on Amazon, and you can find all of the inky information that you need for your labels on their website. It's really nice glitter. You don't have to worry about it like sticking all over you in the bath or in the shower. It's gonna rinse away nice and clean. It's biodegradable and plant-based, so you don't have to worry about microplastics. It's just a really nice glitter to work with. Another glitter that I use quite often is Star Sprinkle Glitter. You'll find her on TikTok. She has a website, and her glitter is really nice as well. It's plant-based, biodegradable eco glitter. And here we are. Our soap is done. All I'm gonna do is give it a spritz with rubbing alcohol after I put on my white diamonds glitter. So I just give it a spritz with 99% rubbing alcohol. That just helps with the soda ash. What also helps is making sure that your soap is covered so it doesn't have access to a lot of oxygen while it's going through saponification. So what I do is after I spray it, I put it in an old Amazon box, close up the box, put a towel over it, and just leave it overnight. And I generally don't have issues with soda ash, even with my dark charcoal soaps. And as well too, putting in the box with the towel also helps the soap go through a full gel phase, which really just makes your colors pop and you get a nice uniform color. So yeah, that's why I do the things I do. And with the magic of television, it is the next day. And I know I said so already, but thank you very much if you have gotten this far. Thank you for watching my videos. I really do appreciate you. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Now I found that the soap came out beautifully. I really like how it came out, although I am kind of on the fence about whether I want to use yellow again in this soap. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. I would like more white though, so definitely I'm gonna go lighter on the color, more on the white. All in all though, she's pretty. Although I don't know, Mount Benson Breezes kind of sounds more masculine than feminine, so maybe he's a he and not a she. Also, I really do love this glitter. It's very, very pretty. Always has such a nice shine to it. And I think I bought a whole variety pack of the glitter. It only comes in these little tubs, but it lasts a really long time. And I think I got 7 or 8 colors that range from silver through, the blues, the greens, purples, reds, pinks. I think the only thing I didn't get, there's nothing really orangey in it, but otherwise. They probably have other colors available on their website. And I do encourage you to go find Star Sprinkle Glitter as well, because she has some beautiful glitter and she's getting more and more every day. I actually won a contest from her when she was still very new. That's how I ended up with a whole pile of her glitter, which was pretty amazing. I don't know that I've ever really won anything before that. But anyway, we are coming to a close here. Thank you again for tuning in. I will be back soon with more soapy content. In the meantime, I hope you have a fabulous day.